sounds like a Subaru. All right, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? Just another day of Honda ownership. So I was taking my cat to the vet. Got the cat carrier in the back. We're just chilling. I'm about to walk her inside right now. But on the way here, I noticed the car started like missing a little bit. I'm like, interesting. You know, the car had been sitting. It might need some plugs, wires, injectors may need to be cleaned. But I wanted to start it up for you guys. And I've already done a little diagnostic. I popped the hood, pulled the plugs off. I already know which cylinder it is, but listen. So she's a dead miss if you can't hear it. Sorry about that, my phone's going off. There, you can hear it good right there. So yeah, it's got a dead miss. Let me turn that off. My air-fuel ratio is reading significantly higher than it was before, so that led me to start pulling the plugs off of each cylinder. And this is maybe some good info for you guys out there that are, you know, in the car community. But if you're ever misfiring, you want to find out which cylinder's not doing its job, you go start pulling the plugs off of one cylinder at a time while it's running, and it will. If the motor doesn't change the way it's running, then you know it's that cylinder. Well, it's what is it, cylinder 4, the one that's closest to the distributor? No, that's cylinder 1. Well, anyway, it's a cylinder that's closest to the distributor. I pulled all, you know, plugs off of this one. It's good, it's good, it's good. Boom, I get to the closest one to the distributor, which is on the far passenger side. I pull that one out, the motor stays exactly like it is. If you pull it out, you can actually, just a little bit, you can hear it arcing. That can kind of tell you somewhat if the wire's good. I've seen some bad wires that'll still arc from time to time, kind of intermittent, but that still doesn't tell you that your spark plug's good down below that wire. It just tells you that you're getting spark through the wire. So then I always go to the distributor side where that wire is plugged into the distributor, pull it out, put it back on, just for, you know, GP, general purposes, that kind of thing. It's arcing from the distributor to that wire. If you barely hold it, it's got a good strong like ta-ta-ta-ta arc. You know what I'm talking about if you've ever heard it. So we're good there somewhat. I don't have tools with me, so I'm not going to take the plug out here. But I do take the plug off of the injectors and put them back on. Same thing, all the cylinders, when I unplug them, it goes to running really, really rough. I mean, it's already running rough, but it runs worse. But I get to that far passenger side cylinder, the same one that it did with the spark plug side. I take the plug off that injector, and it's running exactly the same. So that leads me to believe I most likely have spark, but I've lost fuel on that. It also explains why my air fuels are reading higher, because I have less fuel going into the motor, but I still have the same amount of air getting pumped out somewhat, you know, give or take. Now, with that being said, I'm gonna limp it home. Should be fine, not getting into any boost or anything crazy like that. But I probably need to take the injectors out and get them cleaned at the very least. I am also gonna pull that spark plug out and see what it looks like. But these are like normal things that you go with, especially when you buy a modified car. So I figured this would be a good learning experience. I'm gonna finish this video out fixing the problem, whatever it ends up being, whether it's a, you know, spark plug, wire, fuel injector, that kind of thing. Now, worst case scenario, say if all those are good and it's still running really bad, that's when you would lead or jump to a compression test. But the fact that it literally did it while I was cruising down the highway leads me to believe that it's more of a just like, you know, a small parts failure and not a major failure like a cracked ring or something crazy like that. So stay tuned, and I'll show you guys what it is, and I'll get some video of taking the stuff out and getting it checked. So with that being said, guys, I'll see y'all in a minute. Alright guys, so ongoing with the story, I took my cat into the vet. We just came out, and now is no longer missing. It's not misfiring anymore. It's actually, it seems to be smooth as butter. So oh, there it goes. It's doing it again. It may actually be like a spark plug. Sometimes if there's a crack in the porcelain, and when they get a little bit of heat in them, it kind of separates out and they can't fire. So I'm gonna go pull that plug out. I think I might be leaning more towards a plug now. So let's get on home. Okay, I'm gonna try to get another clip of what it sounds like misfiring going down the road. Alright guys, so this is the plug that I just took out of the car, and as you can see right here, there is a crack in that porcelain. Can y'all see that? Yeah, right there. It's kind of hard to focus on it, but yeah, my neighbor's weed eating his yard, sorry about that. But yeah, so there's a crack in that porcelain. I had some of the old plugs that I took out of it. They're still gapped down. I'm gonna throw one of those in it, and our misfire should go away, just like that. Alright guys, so I am back. I swapped out the plugs. It was still not running 100%, so it still had like a little bit of a chug to it. So I went ahead and I swapped injectors from that cylinder to the next cylinder beside it. Here, let me start it up for y'all. And let me show you what it's doing. So before, you can tell that it's only running on 3 cylinders right now. Before, it was this cylinder. Well, I swapped injectors from that cylinder to that cylinder, so I swooped them and swapped them. So before, when you pulled this plug out, nothing changed, but now it does. Now when you pull this one out, nothing changes. Nothing. Also, when you pull this, see, the idle goes down, and then it comes back up. Now when you pull this one off, nothing. So that injector is no good, because when it was in this spot, this cylinder, nothing on this side worked. And also, it may have been leaning out just a little bit because it actually got that plug hot and cracked the porcelain. I don't think the motor took any damage, but yeah, it just goes to show you anything can happen, you know. Everything's man-made and everything can break. Now, a lot of people right off the bat would be like, oh man, did he sell you a bad car, blah blah blah. I've been around this car for years. This car has been running turbo and stuff 4 or 5 years now. I would not have expected that to be the case, but luckily injectors are cheap. This is running DSM 450s. I'll be able to buy those. Those are an OEM injector out of what is it, Eclipses, older Evos, and Talons. So they're all the time on eBay, really cheap. I'll be able to get me an injector, throw it in there. If I buy a set, then I'll have 3 extra, and everything will be hunky-dory. Won't even have to change the tune, won't need a retune or anything, and she'll be good to go. So with that being said, thank you guys for watching. This has been a good little day of diagnostics. So yeah. Oh, and by the way, I dropped a injector grommet, so I had to go up to Advance, and of course they didn't have just a single injector grommet, so I bought a whole pack. Look at this. Bought a whole pack of like grommets and O-rings and stuff, and would you believe that not a single one of them fit? And apparently, according to their system, one of those was supposed to fit the car. So I searched and searched for that injector grommet. I couldn't. Obviously, you can't run the car without an injector grommet, because then you'd have a serious vacuum leak. So what I did, just for the time being, if you look right there, you see it doesn't have an injector grommet, but you see that black stuff? I just put some black tape right there, and that is a quick little emergency fix. Obviously, I'm pulling these injectors out, and I'm going to be replacing that one injector, and I'm going to order a new set of grommets and a new set of O-rings, so that way, because I've been taking it on and off, so everything will be fresh and ready to go. But if you're in a pinch, black tape or anything just to seal up that little spot, so you can start it up. So yeah, I was in the middle of diagnostics and checking stuff when that grommet went down into there and disappeared. Just straight up disappeared. I was rocking, shaking the car, getting up underneath it. That grommet was gone. So yeah. Well, anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I will see you on the next one. We have a hood and a fender coming in from Certifit. It's a local body panel place. I think they're like nationwide, but we have one here local. So we're going to be putting those on and getting this cosmetics dressed up on this car. So thank you all for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Adios.